read what I have here. There are many books on how to get rich by investing money. They are appealing because fallen human beings naturally long to be rich. Money has power that fascinates mankind. But wealth is not bad in itself. However, Paul says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. Some people eager to have it have wandered from faith and pierced themselves with many greed. And Paul lived this positive biblical principle of contentment. There is craze all over the world in pursuing wealth. And we want this wealth now. And I think there is pressure in families to be like others. Okay? Sometimes even some women say, why don't you invest or have money like the other person, and vice versa. Let us resist that pressure and seek God's plan for our family. Therefore, let's have what is called contentment. Contentment is the opposite of greed, and greed is a vice. Greed sees no end, and greed has self as the center. You want all for you and yourself. So the second principle is contentment. The first principle is what? Is openness. Let me share with you the third principle, which is planning. We're dealing with family resources. Planning. There is nothing that needs proper planning than our family finances. Financial planning, some of you are better in this than what I'm saying here, means to develop long-term and short-term goals that are clear. You should have priorities for your goals too. Now, here is where we need to work very hard. Avoid using your family resources, let me say, by impulse. You plan on how you're going to use your family resources. Know what you're supposed to do now and what you're supposed to do next. You have things that will take a long time to do. You have things that will take a short time to do. The key thing is that don't just spend outside plan. Plan your resources. I will come to putting God first in one of these principles. But let me share with you that the best way to plan your family resources is to start by giving tithe. Tithe will help you even budget the resources that you have. There's a blessing in putting God first. Because once you start thinking about tithe and start thinking about offerings, then you'll also think on how to use the resources that you have. But if God is not in the picture, then even planning what you have will not be there. It is a priority that we put God first. And there's something that Sister White counsels in the book she writes to families, Adventist Home, that we need to save. We need to save. In your planning, save some money. However little it is, have some savings. Don't just use everything. Even if it is 100 shillings, even if it is 1,000 shillings, even if it is 2,000 shillings, have some savings. And that is part of planning. So let's plan our resources, especially our family resources. Number 4, which is very important, generosity. 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 Okay? I want us to read Philippians 4, and then I'll read verse 14 slowly up to 19. There's something I want to draw from that passage. Verse 14 says, "Yet it was good of you to share in my troubles. Moreover, as you Philippians know, in the early days of your acquaintance with the gospel, when I set out from Macedonia, not one church shared with me in material of giving and receiving except you. For even when I was in Thessalonica, you sent me aid or help more than once when I was in need. Not that I desire your gifts. What I desire is that more be credited to your account. I have received full payment. I have more than enough. I am amply supplied, now that I have received from Epaphroditus the gifts you sent. They are a fragrant offering, an acceptable sacrifice, pleasing to God." Now I will not read verse 19, because we all know what verse 19 is, isn't it? We always read verse 19. But did you know that verse 19 is in the context of verse 14 through 18? And what is the context of 14 through 18? Generosity of the Philippians. They were not a very rich church. In fact, they were a poor church. But they were generous. They were generous. And now, because they were generous, Paul prays for them. And what does Paul say in verse 19? Let us read together, those who have NIV and other versions. Can we read loudly? "And my God will meet all your" what? "Your needs according to his riches in" what? "In glory." Yes. So the promise of God supplying needs was given in the context of generosity. Do you know why God did set up a family? God did set up a family so that it is a theater, a showroom of his love. A family is not for you family members only. That door is also meant to be open to others so that in your family they can experience God's love. Please be generous in your family. I'm talking about generosity when I'm also talking about family finances. If you do that, then this prayer of Paul will be fulfilled in your family. How I wish you read the context of the Philippians. This was a poor church. But even though they were poor, Paul showers them with praise because they were generous. And I know Paul says, "And my God, whom I worship, will bless you." So blessings come if you as a family intentionally in your planning plan to be generous. And God will bless you. If you are as a family, you are generous. Let me read to you what I've said here. God's promise to supply all our needs in the book of Philippians 4:19 is in the context of generosity. A water pipe, this is now an illustration, that allows water to go through will always be fresh. Okay? Will always be fresh. But one that is clogged will soon go bad and be blocked and even smell. When we give, we open our families for more blessings. Let us be generous. Let us be what, church? Generous. So in your finances, also plan to be generous. Point number 5, family first. And the description of family is what is found in Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. The nucleus family. You, your wife, and children. That is the family. Africa, we have some other definitions of family. Yes, they are family, but in the biblical sense, the family that is being regarded here is your immediate family. So family first. Don't spend your money elsewhere and starve your family. Family first. Why do I say so? There was a very generous man, very generous and good. This man picked all the relatives who were needy and brought them to his family. So because the resources were not there, he decided that he will do a little budget every month of maybe buying a sack of maize, some charcoal, or some gas, buy some beans, and then that was food security for the family. So the wife got tired eating githeri every day. Githeri. You need to change, isn't it? You can eat githeri. You cannot eat githeri every day. You need to change. Sometimes you fry something. Okay? So the wife tried to plead with this man. Please, we cannot live like this. We cannot live like this. This is too much. No. We have to be loving people. We have to love our neighbors. We have to love our relatives. Let us sacrifice for them. Even children, when he's taking to school, the money is not there. The church elders had to intervene. They went to this man. The wife now became mad. He said, things cannot work this way. There was literally no money at home. The elders went and counseled the man. They said, what you are doing is right, but they told him this principle I'm telling you this afternoon. You help your family first, and then assist these others from a distance. I don't know whether it was here or elsewhere. Those who have, somebody who had traveled, it was our guest speaker during the week. We had a graduation this last weekend. He gave us an experience, and he said, I travel a lot. And when you travel by aeroplane, every time you get into an aeroplane, there's instruction. Oh, in case of emergency, do this or do that. So that is something that is said every time you get into an aeroplane. So he said there's one that he has even crammed, that in case of an emergency and there's a mask on top of you, please put your mask first. And then after you've put your mask first, then assist the other what? The other person who may be in need. His point was, help yourself first. Because how can you help others and save them when you are in danger yourself? Ladies and gentlemen, family first. Family means your wife and children first. And then others later. So when you're budgeting, budget like that. You have to make sure there's enough food at home, children are in school, then also think of others. Don't be good to others and kill your family. I know majority listening here have extended families. This could include in-laws, cousins, aunties, uncles. We should assist them where we can. The Bible says that those who ignore their relatives are worse than infidels. However, remember, family is a priority. It is the family first when it comes to finances. And you can see my emphasis. It just means that, family first. Okay? Let me give you the sixth. I'll give a time for us to react to these things. The sixth point is consider your strengths. Consider your strengths. There is one of you who is a better manager. You cannot all be better managers. So if you find that you are the one who is a better manager, then manage. If it is the wife who is a better manager, let her manage the resources. It is family resources. that you are managing. Don't feel bad. Sometimes money becomes a symbol of status in the family. It should not be. It should not be. If you regard the financial resources that you have as belonging to the family, there should not be war about it. Therefore, if you find that your wife is the one who handles it better, it's okay. I don't know whether I am good or bad. For me, if I carry money in my pocket and somebody comes, I give money out very easily. Is it good or bad? I don't know. I don't know. My wife feels very bad about that. How can you just throw money around like that? Okay, for her it is throwing money what? Throwing money around. I don't know whether she's right or wrong. Is she right or wrong? Right. Yeah, so I've realized that if I need to help where it is proper, but I've left managing money to her. She is very thrift, like just most women are. Very careful. I don't know why they are careful like that. Like one day I saw a woman getting into a matatu. The matatu man said, this matatu is 40 shillings. No, I have 20. And she has that 40. I don't know why you behave like that. See this woman, what is she doing now? And you look at her and say, the difference of 20 will make what? That's how we think men, okay? But a woman will, okay, ingia, with the 20, okay? Anaingia. Hata saa ingine tunasunguka town, we go to town with my wife, you know. Me, when I go for shopping, I just know where I'm going to buy something, and I buy and go out. I don't go looking around, which price, what. I buy and go out. But for her, oh, here it is 2 shillings more. So 2 shillings. I don't know whether other men are like, why do you go around for 2 shillings? One supermarket to another, to another, to another. And, oh, it is cheaper here. I don't know. But that's how women are wired. And I think it is good in a way, because if you add those 2 shillings, it can be ultimately 100 or so. You know, generally men are careless with money. Most men are careless with money. But I don't know why women are wired to be careful with money. They are more careful with money. And if you find that her strength is being a better manager, then give her that role. If the husband is a better manager, then you give him that role. However, there are some women I know also who have, when they have money, like there was one in my village, mandazi anakula, what, if you go, buying everything everywhere. Buying everything everywhere. So consider your strengths. Very often, partners with opposite personalities marry. We value qualities in our mate that we should find missing in ourselves. That's true. As a result, there is pretty good chance that at least one in the family has the organized and reliable personality to handle financial matters. God brings us together. There are those who are very careless, and the other partner could be very careful. So let's give the one who is careful the priority on how to use finances. Now, number 7, I had 7 principles. The 7th one is put God first. Put God first. And I think this should have been number 1, but I've left it until the end so that I lay emphasis on 8. Now, you remember the Zarephath widow. In these tough economic times, just like the time of the Zarephath widow, we need to heed God's voice to put God first. The widow of Zarephath, when Elijah told her that, yes, lady, I've heard what you have said, but first, go and make a meal for me. Then after you've done that, do for your son. Now let me ask you, church, did the oil get finished? No. Did the flour get finished? No. What was the reason? The Zarephath widow placed the word of the man of God first, and God blessed that family. They had something in store for the whole of the difficult period that they were in. And some of you can testify that through the corona period, when some of us lost their jobs, some of us had, we had our salaries reduced, okay? You survived, and God made it possible for you to survive. I plead with all of us to put God first. When you get your resources, if it is an income from business, if it is an income from the salary, please give God what is His. That is the best principle that we have in order to have our family finances a blessing to us. Otherwise, our resources could be even a curse. You remember the people of the time of Haggai? Instead of money being a blessing, it was a curse. They used to put it in their pockets, and it just goes. They had torn pockets, as it is said in the scriptures, where money just went through. Let us begin with God, and other things will fall in place. I'll finish with a small illustration we were given by a certain lady when I was in college. This lady brought tomatoes and placed them on a desk, and also brought sand and placed sand on the desk, and then brought a bottle and asked us a question. I want to put sand and tomatoes in this bottle. Which one do I begin with? Then some said sand, some said tomatoes. Let me ask you, if you have tomatoes and you have sand and you want to put all of them in a bottle, which one will you begin with? Tomatoes. Why tomatoes? Because they are big, and then they'll create what? Space. Okay? And when actually she demonstrated by putting the tomatoes inside and started pouring the sand trickled in well. So if your priorities are right, other things will trickle in well. So have your priorities right. The priority here in finances is God. If you put God first, other things will trickle in and will fall in what? In place. Now I give room for questions, for comments, for observations. Anybody remembers the question we had yesterday? Anybody remembers? We had a question and we didn't answer it. We said we will postpone it today. If the one who asked it is here, can you please repeat? We didn't have a secretary to jot it down. Anyone? Was there somebody with a question? Yes.
Thank you, Pastor. The one who asked the question, I don't know whether he's around here. But I can remember the question.
Yes.
The question is there. He's not there.
If it's, who was it? People are pointing at Peter. Peter, was it you?
No, it was not Peter. It's the other person.
Okay.
So, but I think I can rephrase it. He said if you have a wife and the wife just keeps quiet, today she's just quiet, tomorrow she's just quiet, and 1 week goes, she's just quiet. And what do you do?
Oh, please answer that question.
Those who are there, those who are listening, I don't know whether that is there. I've said
I think
it correctly.
that one was answered. A lady back there answered the question. If I remember, Herin, didn't you attempt it? Herin
Or
attempted.
it was answered.
And Herin said that you wait for the appropriate moment to try to trigger the opening of the mouth. So the question could be, if still after trying to trigger, she still does not do what? Open.
Pastor, maybe I can just add.
Add,
If it was
you can
answered,
add.
I can add.
You can add.
Because for this week, this week that we are in the camp meeting, I've been removed about twice to go to families. One occasion, they were happy. There was something which had made them happy, but they wanted me to join them. But then the second one was almost like the same case, where the wife has refused to talk. I left here, and the husband brought me late again here. I live here in the camp. And then now, as we were going, the husband came and said, now the wife has not been talking. And now I tried to talk, the wife is not talking. And now when I came in the evening, I found she has packed everything, and now she wants to go home. Can you come so that... And by the way, they are not Adventists. These ones are not Adventists. For a number of occasions, we have gone even to families who are not Adventists. You remember where we went to you in July. Now, as we were going, when we reached the house, I said, I don't think I'm going to... You are going to sort yourselves out. Me, I'm not going to sort you out. Otherwise, me, the only way I can sort you out is to beat both of you. Because even two of you, you cannot join and beat me. I will beat both of you. Then they looked at me, and then they said, the wife said, Elder, you ask him why I'm not talking. So I said, but myself, you came and collected me from the church, and yet you have the answer. You see? He has the answer, and now he's coming to disturb you. You would have sorted out that problem without you. Why is he coming to tell you? And he has the answer. So I learned that sometimes even a woman keeping quiet may not be a woman's problem, may be the husband's problem. And then I was told, I was now told, say, now tell me, when you have the answer, tell me what is the answer. The husband says, we had agreed to build a house. They say they have children, though they are small children, but they are children. And they had agreed to build a house. Now, when they go home, they go to other homestays and to the wife, it is inconveniencing. Hey. But I say, but now if this is the case, why did you say the wife has refused to talk and you don't know the problem, and yet you have the answer? See, I said even they had pulled resources together so that they can build a house. Now where he took the money, the wife does not know, and he's saying the wife has refused to talk.
You went to? What did he do?
They had pulled resources together in the name of building that house.
And money disappeared.
And the money disappeared. And the wife, the husband is the one the money was entrusted to him. And he's saying the wife is refusing to talk. And he's also the one who knows where the money went.
Thank you very much, Elder. I've learned two things. I know the story could be long, but I've learned two things.
Yes.
One is if you have a problem in the family, it is you two who can solve it.
Yes.
I think that's what you found out.
Yes.
And secondly, what I'm learning here, sometimes keeping silent is a symptom.
Yes.
It is not the problem.
Yes.
Yeah. Even we didn't have time to talk about sex. If the woman refuses,
yes,
it is not about refusing.
Correct.
Men, we don't refuse most of the time. I don't know whether they are men. It is a problem of women. So if a woman refuses, it is not refusing.
Yes.
You find out why the mood of having sex is not there. So I'm getting
Yes.
The point that you are trying to express,
Correct.
find where the problem of keeping quiet is.
Yes.
Sometimes we know it, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Yes,
And
something.
I thank God because, when I was going, the husband is the one who came to pick me. But now as I was coming back, both of them brought me back to the church. And the agreement is now that house, we wait for the camp meeting to be over, then we will go and the house will be built.
Good. And the problem, the speaking will come back.
The speaking will come back. And now we have known why the wife is keeping quiet. And we know the source of why the wife is not
Thank you
is
very
keeping
much.
quiet.
Thank you very much, Elder. So our time is up. But let me just say something, because it has come. I don't know whether I'll have time tomorrow. I don't know whether there are some young people here listening. If they are listening, they should close their ears. When it comes to sex, sex is not done in the bedroom. Well, the bedroom is where it is done. But it starts outside. It is done during the day. When the mood is set during the day, then bedroom is just a culmination of how you've been relating. I think those who defined sex as act of love defined it correctly. That's what it should be. It is a result of how you are relating. So if your sex life is not appropriate, then there's a problem in the relationship that you should resolve. You should not start by resolving the issue of sex alone. You should look at what is the issue in your relationship that is bringing this problem of sex. I don't know if there's another question. There's somebody. Yes, please.
Pastor, I have a question from the viewer.
Okay.
Yes. I think this question is coming up for yesterday's topic. It's called Dan Kalu is asking, what if I don't love many stories? How will I please her? I'm a quiet man and I love my wife. Mm-hmm. How do I improve?
If the man is a quiet man, naturally most men are quiet. The question is, how do I communicate? I think that's the question. How do I communicate with my wife given my personality? Anybody wants to help this man?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. I think, Pastor,
who is answering? Oh, there.
The person asking that question is not that he's a quiet man. At some times he entered into the relationship and he talked. The quietness we are talking about here, something has annoyed me as Duncan, therefore I cannot communicate. He talked and went to the lady's place and the lady came. And I think the character that he's talking about is asking, the lady already know that Brother Duncan is a quiet man. But there's this bit of it, something has went wrong into the family and I'm quiet, I cannot even smile, talk as I always talk when I approached her the first time.
Yeah, that can happen, Elder. How about a situation where you are a quiet person? Is it a problem? It's a man, I think, who is asking the question, so I expect ladies to respond. Those who are married to quiet people, how are you handling it? Anybody married to a very quiet person? And give us a testimony. How you are handling your quiet husband. Ladies. Or you've seen your friend handling a quiet husband. If somebody wants to try, yeah, you have a quiet one.
Not an issue of having a quiet.
No, it's okay, it's okay.
But I think the difference between us women and you men, me, I want to be told I love you over and over again and sure. But then you reason that I love you. That's why I married you, you should know. So I think through the day, tell me many times, I want to be told I love you, show me. Don't let me just figure it out that that's why you married me. I think that's where the difference comes.
Or if it is difficult to say, send a message, write down. You can write down, I love you, sweet, and you can send emojis. Hmm? Anybody else? Any other lady? Okay, there's a hand behind there.
Thank you for this opportunity. When he's quiet, thank you. When he's quiet, practically when he was quiet in my house, I made very good food, very sweet food, and that I learned from my mother. When anyone was beaten or corrected for a mistake and the person sulked and walked away, she would make very nice food, and the person would just be drawn back. I tried that, and it worked.
It works.
Yes. Another thing I tried was to, another thing I tried, another thing I tried was to play my best music and play it louder than normal, and I sing along in the house. So I'm playing my best music and the good food is there. That combination is magical.
Is combustible. Okay. Is there any other one who wants to share something? Our time is up. Yes, please. Yes, Elder Peter.
Pastor, I just want to ask a question. Of course, yesterday we talked about openness. I think you're asking who asked the question. It's me who asked it. I wanted to know how open is open. If you want to share.
Organized.
If you want to share information.
Yes.
How open can you become? But now my question today is on your topic on family finance.
Family.
Family.
Yes, family.
Yes. You give money, of course, out of love. Probably you gave it in the morning before you came back. And your wife receives it very well. And then in the evening, you also have time to give money and she receives it again very well. Now my concern is, how much can you give for this lady to be satisfied? Because anytime you give, they receive. Anytime you give, is there a moment they can say, oh, my honey, this is just enough. You can stop it. Do they keep on receiving all the time?
Yeah. I saw in some social media that women were born to receive, so just allow them to receive. But is it wrong to just giving your wife money? It's like giving to yourself. What's wrong? Even if you give every hour. Every hour. Give. Peter, what is wrong giving every hour? Even every minute? Giving your wife money, I don't think, if she's going to use it for some proper purpose, it's just okay. It's just okay. And I think I would not like a situation where the wife feels she's like begging money in the house. I think we should not make our women, unaona wanaume wengine hata kama wanatoa pesa anapinduka, wallet should not be seen. I don't think we should behave like that. No. A woman should not feel that she's begging money at home. I think our time is up, isn't it? Elder, our time is up. Very much up. We will continue tomorrow. I'll make much of tomorrow a session of questions. I just have something little to present. And then if you have anything else, we can share together. May God bless us all. Shall we rise for a word of prayer? Our loving Heavenly Father, you established families so that in them we may see and experience your love. You have given us families. It is our prayer that you give us wisdom and grace to grow in them and to be loving and kind to all the members that we have in the family. We've learned this afternoon that you intend to bless others through the family and bless the family. The families that are standing here this afternoon, I pray that you give them wisdom to conduct themselves well when it comes to family finances. Help them to put you first so that the blessings may trickle in. We commit the programs of this year's camp meeting into your care and keeping. May you continue guiding us. Lord, we ask these things in Jesus' name.